The scene shifts to a few moments earlier, before the mermaid's appearance on Scopuli Island. Except for Kong, the rest of the teammates are feeling sick. Leon comments on how Kong seems fine, to which our boy replies that he doesn't usually get seasick. At that moment, our boy spots a merman. Kong is surprised to see it, but the merman quickly runs away. Our boy notes that the merman seems smaller than he expected and feels a bit foolish for being so serious about it. He thinks Kong might not even need to use his weapon, though Kong had already planned to take it easy in the rearguard position. Leon informs Kong that once they reach their assigned area, there will be fully grown mermen, which are nothing like the smaller ones they've just seen. Leon adds that their first priority should be to head to the location Chloe went to scout. They move deeper into the forest, with Leon warning everyone to stay alert. Suddenly, Chloe appears, returning from her scouting mission. Leaping from tree to tree, she lands right in front of our boy. Kong is startled by her sudden entrance and asks if she had been climbing trees on her way back. Chloe confirms, explaining that it was the best way to avoid being noticed. Leon asks Chloe about the situation ahead. Chloe reports that approximately 500 meters ahead, there is a cave. As the group moves forward and spots the cave, Leon senses and estimates that there are about 50 to 60 mermen inside. Our boy thinks to himself that if they hunt these mermen down, their team will almost certainly secure first place in the midterms. However, he also considers the risks. For the leader, ensuring the safety of the team is just as important. Injuries could occur, and Kong and the others might end up trapped in the cave with no means of outside communication. Should the team take the risk or opt for a safer detour elsewhere? The decision ultimately rests with Leon, the team leader. The scene then shifts to a few days earlier. Leon is briefing the team and tells Chloe he will rely on her to scout the area when they land on the island. He adds that Batten will handle the healing with his blessing. Hearing this, our boy remarks that he still finds it interesting that Batten is a healer. Frustrated, Batten snaps at Kong to stop talking nonsense. Leon then assigns Kong to guard the rear against any potential threats. Our boy reflects that he seems to have gotten the easiest job. Leon further explains that he will lead everyone from the center, emphasizing that the team cannot just rush in recklessly. He assures them that he will join the offense if the situation calls for it. At that moment, Rachel asks Leon about her role. Leon confidently replies that she will be the one to face the mermen head-on and take down as many as she can. Leon expresses his trust in Rachel's abilities, believing she is more than capable of handling the task. Returning to the present, Kong observes Leon's expression and realizes that Leon has made his decision. Leon calls for Rachel. Responding immediately, Rachel hurls her spear at the cave with incredible strength and speed, taking down several mermen in a single strike. Without hesitation, she charges into the cave, retrieving her spear and continuing to take down the mermen in her path. Meanwhile, Batten uses his spell to heal Rachel and restore her stamina. As all the remaining mermen rush toward her at once, Rachel remains undeterred. With a smile on her face, she effortlessly takes down approximately 25 mermen on her own. She marvels at her own blessing, thinking about how incredible it is. On the other hand, Kong and the others are astonished by Rachel's display of strength. Seeing this, Chloe unsheathes her sword, ready to join the fray. Aura begins to emanate from Chloe's sword as she activates her blessing of a cat. In an instant, with a single strike, Chloe takes down several mermen. The remaining mermen attempt to retaliate, but she easily dispatches them as well. Meanwhile, on one side of the cave, Rachel is relentlessly taking down the mermen she encounters, while Chloe does the same on the opposite side. As the two approach each other, Kong and Leon grow concerned, fearing that neither of them will stop in time and that they might collide. Just as Rachel and Chloe draw closer, a huge merman appears and attacks. However, the two of them, using their blessings in unison, swiftly take down the large merman. Afterward, Rachel comments that Chloe seems a little faster than before. Chloe, with a serious expression, retorts that she was the one who took down the merman. With that, Rachel and Chloe move to opposite sides once again. Our boy feels relieved to see the situation resolve without any issues. Leon, having taken down a few mermen himself, remarks to Kong that it seemed like Kong was worried about those two. Our boy replies that it turns out his concern was unnecessary. Leon and his team successfully take down all 60 mermen. Leon then tells our boy to have more trust in his teammates. With everything settled, Leon suggests they move on. Watching him, our boy reflects on Leon's decisiveness and leadership, noting that these qualities form the solid backbone of the team. He realizes that Leon is truly irreplaceable, and his presence here feels undeniably real. As Kong wonders if Leon might casually ask where our boy is from, a sudden strike hits Leon from behind, catching everyone off guard. Shocked, the team turns to see that the attacker is a demon mermaid. Rachel, stunned, questions what a mermaid is doing here. Equally shaken, our boy recalls thinking earlier that everything had been going too smoothly. Now, faced with the dire situation, Kong must decide whether the team should run or fight. He knows that attempting to flee with an injured Leon could result in the entire team being taken down. Rachel urgently tells Kong to try contacting the instructor about the mermaid. However, our boy realizes that with all communication cut off from the outside, alerting the teachers might only cause them to panic even more. Kong states that it seems he is the only one still clear-headed. Taking charge, he orders Batten to focus his healing blessing on Leon. Kong then instructs Chloe to leave the cave, alert the nearby cadets to evacuate, and call for the instructors. However, Chloe insists that she wants to stay and help Kong. Kong firmly explains that fleeing with Leon will be difficult, so Chloe must hurry and act before the mermen launch another attack. Reluctantly, Chloe agrees, saying she understands, and runs toward the cave's exit. After Chloe leaves, Rachel asks Kong what they should do next and whether he has a plan. Batten and Rachel, noticing Chloe's departure, question Kong about why he sent her away. Kong steps forward and calmly tells Rachel and Batten to handle the smaller mermen. Surprised, Batten asks what Kong intends to do. Our boy closes his eyes, thinking to himself that he has always disliked dealing with small fish. They require no real skill to handle. With a smile on his face, Kong unsheathes his sword, declaring that taking care of the big fish is his specialty. Our boy reflects that the protagonist fell to just one normal attack, highlighting the stark difference in strength between humans and demons. Kong knows he can't confidently claim victory, even with the blessing of the sword god. In the original game, it was nearly impossible to subdue a magic-wielding demon without a full party. Now, faced with a boss that typically requires a large-scale raid, our boy realizes there's no turning back. With Chloe needing about 10 minutes to return, Kong concludes that there's only one option. He must defeat the boss mermaid in just 40 seconds. As Kong activates the blessing of the sword god, our boy smiles, thinking it's been a while since he's gone all out. Meanwhile, Rachel continues taking down the mermen relentlessly. When several mermen attack her at once, she blocks their strikes with her spear, pushes them back, and finishes them off with a single powerful blow. However, her fatigue is starting to show. Batten, noticing Rachel's exhaustion, wishes he could assist her, but healing Leon is already pushing him to his limits. While Leon's wound is severe and healing slowly, it is recovering nonetheless. Batten, recalling Kang's absurd strength from their subspace duel, struggles to believe that Kong is facing the demon mermaid alone. Just watching the fight fills Batten with fear. Although it's late, Batten wonders if he should try to stop Kong. Meanwhile, the demon mermaid launches a strike at Kong. Kong swiftly dodges the attack and charges forward. Our boy analyzes the situation, noting that the mermaid appears to be a demonoid specializing in long-distance magic attacks with water properties. While Kong doesn't know magic, our boy thinks to himself, a mermaid is just a fish after all. Our boy then leaps into the air, closing the distance between him and the mermaid. As Kong strikes, the mermaid manages to dodge his attack and head straight for Batten. Batten is stunned as he sees the mermaid charging toward him. At the last moment, our boy steps in, striking the mermaid with his knife. The attack lands, but the strike is too shallow to inflict any real damage. Wasting no time, Kong charges forward again, but the mermaid dives into the nearby pond, disappearing beneath the surface. Frustrated, Kong thinks to himself that this demon is truly a mermaid, and predicting a mermaid's movements is no easy task. Our boy observes that the mermaid is deliberately targeting those who are injured. Regardless, Kong resolves to keep his team members safe. Kong turns to Batten and asks if he's all right. Batten, both relieved and surprised, replies that he is fine. Before leaving, Kong tells Batten he's relying on him to take care of Leon and calls him a hero. Batten is taken aback, watching Kong face the mermaid alone. Hearing Kong call him a hero triggers a memory for Batten. He recalls telling Kong that justice and bravery, when sacrificed for the sake of others, and the ability to turn despair into hope are what define a hero. Yet, despite enrolling in the world's best hero training school, Batten hasn't encountered anyone who embodies these qualities, not even among the elite dragon class. Batten reflects that this is why he joined this group with Rachel. He was certain he would find the hero he was looking for in Leon. Hearing this, our boy smiles to himself, thinking that Batten might just be right. With a smile, Batten informs Kong that, sorry to say, Kong is far from being a hero in his eyes. Kong responds that even if he were one, he'd refuse the title. Returning to the present, Batten watches as Kong faces the demon mermaid alone. Despite the odds, Batten starts to believe Kong might actually have a chance of winning. The demon mermaid then unleashes a technique, summoning multiple mana fish to strike at Kong. Although Kong dodges them initially, he's caught off guard when the mana fish begin to follow him. Kong quickly carves a path for himself using his knives, managing to evade the mana fish. However, the relentless mana fish continue their pursuit. Kong, undeterred, uses his full speed to dash around the demon mermaid in an attempt to outmaneuver her. Spotting an opening, the mermaid abruptly shifts her focus and charges straight toward Batten. Rachel shouts, warning Batten to be careful. Just as the mermaid is about to strike him, Kong intervenes, landing a blow on the mermaid. However, the strike is shallow once again and fails to cause significant damage. Our boy steels himself, realizing that these shallow strikes won't be enough to take the mermaid down. We see that the mermaid has taken some damage from Kang's strike. The mermaid attempts to strike at Kong using her mana, but her attack instead hits the cave wall, creating a massive hole. The impact distracts the mermaid, causing her to lose control of her mana fish. As a result, the mana fish hit her directly, sending her tumbling beneath the cave's debris. At that moment, the scene shifts to a few students who are speaking with Instructor Kim. Suddenly, the two students hear a loud sound. Saki Ryojo, daughter of the Bao Saint, remarks that it sounded like a roar, while the blue-haired girl adds that she also saw a flash of light coming from the cave ahead of them, just before they found Instructor Kim. As the rain begins to fall, Saki tells the blue-haired girl that they need to get to the wounded and move quickly. With the rain pouring, the blue-haired girl realizes she likely mistook lightning and thunder for the earlier flash and roar. She replies with a confident "of course." Saki insists they need to return to the academy as soon as possible. The scene then shifts back to the cave. Inside, Batten continues to protect Leon, while Rachel remains locked in battle with the remaining mermen. They all start to retreat, leaving Rachel surprised by the sudden shift. Our boy thinks to himself that he couldn't have landed a fatal blow on the mermaid earlier because he was mindful of Leon. He recalls the mermaid being crushed under the debris when the cave collapsed, but Kong believes the mermaid is probably not dead. Just as he expected, the demon mermaid emerges from the rubble. Seeing this, Kong thinks, I knew it. A demon mermaid wouldn't die from something like that. Filled with rage, the mermaid charges toward Kong. Standing firm, our boy calmly removes his coat, positioning himself right in front of the advancing mermaid. Kong tells Rachel that since the mermen have been more or less dealt with, he's leaving Batten and Leon in her care. Rachel nods and replies, got it. On the other hand, Batten is in disbelief, struggling to comprehend that Kong is actually facing the demon mermaid head-on. Batten reflects that he once thought Kong was just a madman, but now he wonders if he's witnessing the birth of a legend. Smiling, our boy thinks to himself that now, finally, he can focus. With 10 seconds to spare, Kong resolves to make up for lost time. As the mermaid closes in, Kong releases his maximum power, charging forward with the intent to destroy everything in his path.